One year after Benjamin died, my mom bought red drawstring satin bags for us to tote Benjamin's ashes into Graceland. He was watching a movie when he died called Finding Graceland, and Benjamin liked Elvis enough for us to put him there. Before we got in the car, my mom and I rationed the ashes with a spoon into plastic Ziploc bags first, and then into the red satin bags for the finished look. It was so surreal and horrifying to spoon the gray dust into those Ziploc bags without spilling him. And I remember we broke the intensity up with awkward laughter. And thank goodness we had these decorative bags to cover the story, because we didn't know what to do with ourselves. We had picked out the bags at World Market the day before and decided that they were perfect for the task. Small red satin things to mark the biggest things that our hearts had ever had to face. When we got to Graceland, we decided the best way to go about it was to go on a prescribed tour of Elvis's home that was offered every day. My dad, my mom, and myself, along with Clay, who was Benjamin's best friend, filed in behind the Elvis fans, clutching our red bags underneath purses and coats. And we wandered, all of us kind of glassy-eyed, into the jungle room. And I knew that my parents were looking to me for that green light moment. And I remember thinking that Graceland was so much smaller than I thought it would be. And it seemed impossibly ordinary to have housed such a legend. So after you walk through the house and the tour, which doesn't take all that long, then we arrived in the backyard, and they gave us free time to kind of wander around. People wandered around near the gravesite because Elvis is buried in the backyard. I remember near the gravesite, there's a white gazebo in the corner of the yard. It was a pretty small backyard also. When I had called earlier to ask, the management told me that it was illegal to spread human ashes on the grounds of Graceland. I thanked him and I hung up. We decided to do it anyway. Benjamin would love that we were premeditating something against the law on his behalf. So I think we were all secretly feeling thrilled along with our heartbreak. It was this profound paradox that gave the entire day such a strange feel. There was a security guard in the corner of the yard, and I mostly had my eyes on him because we were awkwardly fumbling with our bags as we surely looked lost and less Elvis focused than the other people. At some point, this man, whom I will never forget, locked eyes with me, and he softened his entire body, visibly. He turned around with ceremony and bowed his head and folded his hands behind his back with marked reverence. I looked at my parents with urgency and I said, "Now." We scattered his ashes in the yard, but it was completely different than the romantic toss that you see in the movies. I remember I spilled a little bit on my shoes, and some of the chunky bone fragments got stuck in the grass and on the stone walkway. I poured him out a little bit too fast because I knew that the man would turn around again soon. But somehow we managed to scatter him all out, and there was a release in the motion of it all. Graceland had given us such a Benjamin-style ceremony, and that sweet man had given our family space to break a rule and allowed for levity. And that's really what grace is. When something or somebody comes in the middle of the day to ease things a little and the path clears so that the light can turn green. Usually these kinds of humans never know how much they've shifted the day for you. And I wonder if he did. He must have known. Graceland, it turned out, had lived up to its name.